everyone chases a sale. I chase the relationship.
For sure.
The power's in the relationship. The relationship is the key.
So putting people over profits is important.
I promise you, if you do that, the money chases you. Business is definitely not a hobby. It literally is not. You have to. This is a baby, right? I'm raising
gems.
I'm raising this thing to be a successful person, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this on my own. So I leave. The next day, I make $5,000. My first day.
Let's Talk Assets podcast. My name is Chris A. Williams, one of your hosts, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Giovanni Paradise. Today, guys, we have a very, very special guest. We have Mr. Josh with Innovative Twist Printing and Innovative Twist Real Estate. Welcome, Josh. How we doing today?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. You know, I've been watching you guys for a while, so it's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Awesome, man. You know, here at Let's Talk Assets podcast, we kind of take everybody on a journey of your life as an entrepreneur. Obviously, you have two businesses now, robust businesses that you're working in. So with that being said, we kind of talk about a little bit where you grew up, Josh, how you grew up. Was it ever instilled in you to be an entrepreneur as an early age? Kind of give us an idea of what high school was like.
So Amish country, Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Where I'm from.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Lancaster, PA.
Yeah. So grew up there my whole life. Lived in the suburbs. So, you know,
Yes, sir.
I went to an all-white school. There's probably about 4 Puerto Ricans, probably 2 black people, and that's it. Like,
Oh, wow.
you know, did sports. But I graduated in 2000, and I was like, what am I going to do? Right? Am I stay here and I'm going to be like the rest of my family and, you know, not be nowhere? And, you know, entrepreneurship wasn't a thing for us. It was always, we worked. You know, I started working at 13. I had 2 jobs, you know. I enjoyed having my own money. So
what was the pressure like? Like, was there a, hey, Josh, we want your family, they wanted you to do X, Y, Z, or?
Nah, never. There was never, I didn't have to, they never pushed college. They never pushed like anything. It was always whatever I wanted to do.
Okay.
You know, but for me, I just knew if I stayed there, I wouldn't grow.
Yeah.
Right? I needed something different. So I decided to join the Navy, you know, and I left literally probably 3 days after I graduated. I didn't wait no time. I graduated high school in 2000 and I left straight to boot camp.
Oh, wow.
And then did that for 4 years. So my first tour was 9/11. Like I remember it as it was yesterday. I'm sitting in my office because, you know, I had my own office because I was an IT. And I'm watching the TV and I'm just thinking it's a movie until they come over to the loudspeaker and they're like, guys, we're leaving. Like, tell your family, get your stuff together. We're gone.
Yeah.
And we left. We picked up the Marines and that was my first tour, 9 months out to sea.
And so you were about 20 years old at the time? Or 19?
I was about 19.
19.
Yeah.
And you got stationed where?
In Norfolk.
In Norfolk. So Norfolk, boom, you're going to war basically.
Yeah. That was the first tour.
What was your mindset like?
Honestly, I was ready. I wanted to go and explore the world, right? And I knew being in the Navy, I was going to be able to do that. You know, I didn't have plans. I didn't know if I was going to do that forever. I didn't know, you know, I just wanted to get away and figure out what's past Lancaster, right? What can I do? What can I see? So joining that was like the only way I knew I was going to be able to travel right away, right?
That's beautiful. So Navy, right? Everyone, you know, you obviously didn't stay in the Navy. So you did 4 years?
Did 4 years. So
talk to us about that when that 4 year, so your contract came up, right?
Nah, it didn't even come up. So
let's go.
A lot of people don't even know this story.
Okay.
So I got kicked out.
Oh, wow.
Right? So
honorable, dishonorable?
Other than,
okay.
So back then, right, my commo, so I was an IT, information tech. Back then it was radioman before it changed over.
Yes, sir.
So I was in charge of internet and phones, right? Went to all the schools. I was the man on the boat. You wanted to talk to your wife, you had to call me so I can give you your phone access, you know, stuff like that.
Okay.
So what my upper staff wanted was, hey, put a wireless network so we can talk to our wives, you know, in our racks while we're not in the office. So I'm like, all right. So we put this thing together, and I have everyone above me using this thing. I'm like, okay. So we get a brand new captain, and he must have wanted to prove a point, because they were like, okay. And none of them stuck up for me. None of them. I get back to Norfolk because I'm out to sea.
Yep.
And they bust me down from IT2 to IT3, and they kicked me out, right? So now I'm back in Norfolk, and they're like, why are you here? Because all my evals were 4.7 and above. Like, they were like, you need to go to officer school, this, that, and the third. Like, and I remember getting back, and it was kind of perfect timing because I just had my first baby. And you know her, it's Marty, right? So I just had her, and I'm like, all right, well, this is a blessing. I missed her first birthday because I was still in the separation process. And it was scary because I didn't know what I was going to do and how I was going to take care of my family, but I knew I had to do something.
Yeah.
You know, the funny part is I ran into one of the officers like probably 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
How'd that go?
And it was the funniest thing. We're looking at each other, and we're like, we know each other. And he's like, IT2 Alvelo? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I know you. He's like, Camo. I'm like, oh, the communication officer that was on my ship that didn't stick up for me. Got it. I was like, he's like, how's the Navy? I'm like, Camo, you're the reason I got out. What are you talking about? And he goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, Camo, the wireless internet you had me set up for you guys? Yeah, that's why I got kicked out. He goes, funny thing is we got wireless now on the boats.
Crazy.
And I'm like, man, but he didn't even remember.
So basically, they basically said hey, did this without permission.
Yep.
And the other than honorable, and then boom.
Yep. And that was it. So
All right,
I was like,
boom, you're out the Navy.
out.
So walk us through where your mental state is, your mind. You have a child now, right?
I got a child. So my first thing is, all right, what am I gonna do to make money? I've always worked. I'm not scared to work. And I love taking care. I want to buy what I want. I want to take care of my family. So, I try home health care. I try call centers. And then eventually I end up at Kinko's, right? On Alaskan Road, working third shift. And I learned the print game. Taught myself how to design, back then, Joe Stick, By All Means Entertainment. All these guys were coming to me at Kinko's to do stuff for them. So I'm learning all this print stuff. And I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So now I decide, okay, let's do something else. So I end up working for another company that was like mine, that like I have now. And I'm like, okay, this is easy. I'm doing sales. I'm making him a ton of money. I'm like, I like this. I'm designing because I'm learning still. And I'm like, I'm going to do this on my own. So I leave. The next day I make $5,000. My first day.
How old were you?
At that time, I was probably about 20. I'll say about 20, almost 21.
Oh, wow.
So I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm starting my own. I'm like, all right, I can do this. I was already doing sales. Everybody already thought I owned the other company.
Yeah.
So, let's do it. So I go out, I do it. And my first day, I made 5. I'm like, oh, this is easy. I remember delivering flyers at a 7-Eleven out of my trunk. I would order them from Florida, get them shipped in on a plane, go to the back of the airport where they deliver the stuff, pick them up, and then go meet my clients at 7-Elevens anywhere. I remember getting pulled over because they're thinking I'm doing drug deals. I'm like, guys, this is just flyers, and they're checking, and it was so funny. And that's how I started. I just knew I found something I was passionate about, and I'm like, I can do this. And then I decided I'm gonna market it like I was a reggaeton artist. I remember doing flyers where I'm sitting, all decked out in an alleyway on the picture on one side and my prices on the other side, and I'm going to the clubs handing these things out.
Where'd you get that idea from to do that?
The funny part is I don't know. I was just like, let me just try something different. Everybody else I think completely different. I'm like, I need to stand out. How am I going to stand out?
Yeah.
So I decided, all right, let's try this. And it was working. And at this point now, I knew my niche was nightlife. I was doing all the clubs. I was doing all the concerts, Then I started getting corporate clients. And they came to me because I put a twist on things. Like it was urban, but it was still clean. It wasn't that old school, clean, basic stuff anymore that they wanted. So now I'm getting corporate clients. Then I'm like, all right, I need more clients. So I would go into places. I remember going to a jewelry store in Pembroke Mall, and I'm like, man, I don't like his business card. Took his business card, went back to my shop, designed a new one, printed like 1,000 out, and I did flyers, designed it, went back to him, left them on the table, said, hey, these are on me. Let me know if you need more, and walked out. Before I could leave, he was like, hey, I want to order more right now. I was like, oh, this works. So then I did it to Maggie McFly's on Lynn Haven. Right?
Oh, wow.
I seen their comment card. I'm like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
So boom, I do it again. Now I got corporate calling. They got 7 locations and they only had 1 here. The rest were like Connecticut and up north. And I'm like, okay. So I started just doing that. Like I understood giving something for free to get it back in return. Right.
Oh, wow.
I even did it in real estate, right? I'm jumping ahead, but I understood if I want to learn this, I just got to do it first.
Yeah.
So I told my broker, I know I'm switching, but I told my broker, I'm like, hey, she had a flip she just finished. I'm like, I want to sell that for free. Like, you don't got to pay me. I just want to learn the process because I was so new. And I didn't want to like fumble the ball when it was my turn and I had my own client. I'd rather have done it because she could teach me along the way. So first deal was free. She's like, listen, if it appraises over value, I'll give you 0.5%. I'm like, all right, cool. Turn around and I made $2,200.
Yeah.
So it worked, but I knew the process now. I was comfortable. I can sell it now. I knew what I was doing, so I understood sometimes you got to do things for free.
Yeah.
Because it's going to come back 10 times fold.
That's beautiful. So it's about branding.
Oh, branding is everything, right? Like in this moment in time, I've been doing print. It'll be 21 years in February, right?
Oh, wow.
Everybody knows who I am. I've done this so long. My kids hate it because I'll walk down the street and they'll be like, oh, what's up, Josh? And they'll be like, and they're like, Dad, can we go anywhere where no one knows you? I'm like, probably not, So I understood the power of branding. Everyone knew me as the king of print. Everyone knew that if you needed something last minute, you're going to call Josh. Innovative Twist is going to make it happen, right? And to this day, it's still the same way. And I'm talking about we got big corporate clients that no one can. I print TikTok, I print Hooters, I print Hampton University. Like I had these clients that I've been doing for years because they like me making it different, right? So then I'm like, all right, real estate, that's new. And I got into real estate because of COVID, right? COVID killed the print businesses.
Before we get to where you got into real estate, take us back when you started the business. You said you were in the trunk of your car. Obviously, you didn't have no plush office.
No, so I was smart, right? Most people want that right away. I didn't. I understood the overhead. I didn't want that overhead. I understood I can do this the way I'm doing it now and build my capital. Let me build this big, in my mind, this is going to be a big company. So, I always would do it out the trunk. Then I'd rent a little office from somewhere. Then I bring on some people to design. Like I understood my time is valuable. I don't want to be stuck behind a computer. So I'm going to bring in more designers. Like Kurt, you had Kurt on here. That's my boy. That's my brother. Like, I rented a little closet and when I tell you a closet, it was literally smaller than this office from Kurt at Elusive Media when they was on
Back
Central
in the
Drive.
day.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So we've been close, ever since.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's when I started. I was like, all right, I outgrew the closet. I'm like, all right, but I networked. That's where I met the whole team. And the funny part, Show Me and Phil, the part, they designed for me when I started my company because they were the dopest designers out here. And I reached out, I'm like, hey guys, let's work together. And then Kurt and them started Elusive Media. Then I came over there. And now we got this big company. They're doing their videos and websites and I'm doing the print and we're just killing it together as a team, right? And I'm still building my company. It's still Innovative Twist and it's still Elusive Media. And then I outgrow that and I'm like, all right, I need something a little bit bigger. So I rent another space from someone else who's doing, at this time, that was Bird. So he was Timberland's right-hand man, right? And he had his own office. He was doing stuff for Tim. He was doing videos there and this was all international. Fast forward, I'm like, all right, I need my own office. It's time. So then I rent my own office across from him. And now that's the first time I have my own office. I'm not sharing with no one. I built it how I wanted it, right? Like how I felt was going to be best for me. And from there, I just moved to different locations till I found where I wanted to be. But it didn't matter where I wanted to be. People, I get people who drive up from North Carolina. I ship everywhere. Like wherever I go, they're coming because they know I'm going to give them a solid product.
Absolutely. What was some of the biggest struggles you had early on? What was hard about starting your business?
That you don't know business.
Yeah.
Right? You don't know what you don't know. Like I'm going in this blind. You don't know nothing about taxes. You don't know nothing about anything, right? So I'm learning along the way and you're learning when you're getting the letters like, hey, you got to do this, that, and the third, right? And that's the hard learning lessons and that you don't know about is where you thrive or you fall, right? I thrived in that because now I understood. But because I understood, I'm helping the next person. So if I know you're about to open an office, I'm gonna tell you what I had to go through so you don't have to go through it. I don't hold that.
Yeah.
right? Most people don't give you that information.
Yeah.
I'm not stingy. I want you to know how to build a business. I want you to be successful, right? If we're working together, it's not about me, it's about us. Like, you got to grow so I can grow. If you're growing, I'm going to make more money because you're going to need more print stuff from me. So it wasn't walk into my print shop and I'm going to give you a product. It was, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about your brand.
Yeah.
Who are we trying to reach, right? And they're like, oh, everyone. I'm like, oh, you're trying to reach no one then, right? Because if you try to reach everyone, you reach no one.
Yeah.
What is your demographics you're going for, right? Because if I could talk to them every time I print something for you, you're going to make money. And that's when I switched over from printing to understanding I'm not a print shop. I'm here to teach branding and get you to understand who your audience is so you can make money. That was the difference between me and the 50 million other print shops around me, was I was educating them on what they had to do to be successful. So then that's where I learned branding, because it was working for me. So I'm like, okay, I must be doing something right. But I learned anytime something went wrong, I spoke about it. I couldn't harp on it. I couldn't fix it. Why am I going to stress something I can't fix at that moment, right? I'm just going to learn about it, figure out how to fix it. And I'm going to make sure anybody who's around me that is trying to do what I'm doing is going to learn so they don't have to do it.
Yes, sir.
We had a flood at my office one time, right? And I made a joke about it. I'm like, oh, guys, I'm going swimming in the office, right? And they're like, how aren't you mad? I'm like, what do I be mad for?
Can't do nothing about it. Yeah.
Nope. And I lost $10,000 worth of equipment. And they're like, what? Yeah. You know why? Because when I called and said I need business insurance, they didn't tell me I need sewage backup, right? But when I called you, I said, I need business insurance. You give me everything. Let me decide if I don't need it, right? So guess what? Now when people rent offices, I'm like, make sure you got this. Or when even for their homes, because it didn't cover me. I lost. But now I'm educating everybody else who's going into the step that I'm in currently so that they don't have to go through that. So I make jokes about it. And I'm like, well, I'm going swimming, and we did the video and everybody's like, man, I would have been mad. I'm like, yeah, I could have been. What was I going to solve?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I really like what you said about the start of your career. And I think we should touch on that a little bit more about like how you were able to gain clients. Because a lot of entrepreneurs out here, when they start a business, your biggest issue is you need to have sales to make money, but to have sales, you need to have leads. So if you just starting out as a younger entrepreneur, you didn't have much capital. So your only options are really to go organic and go direct to consumer. And you were able to carve a lane out in that. So definitely kudos to you for that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, everyone chases a sale. I chase the relationship.
For sure.
The power's in the relationship.
Can you say that one more time?
The power is in the relationship. I don't chase the sales. I chase the relationship.
That's beautiful.
Right? Because at the end of the day, the relationship, I can call anytime I need you.
Yeah.
They know I'm reliable. They know they can call me. I'm going to make it happen. And if I can't, I'm going to tell you, but 99% of the time I make it happen.
Yep.
So they already trust me, right? And I understood I had to build that trust. So the relationship is the power. So when I go out, I talk to anybody. I don't care. You could be in a grocery store. I remember being in a grocery store and this Hispanic lady had one plátano in the basket. I'm like, ma'am, what do you do with that? That's one. Who we feeding, right? And it sparked a conversation.
Yeah.
But once it sparks that conversation, I'm able to say what I do, right? So now I'm like, I get to promote everything I do because I wear my brand. My wife will be like, what are you doing? Why is our closet all innovative twists? I'm like, because
branding.
I'm branding, Like, I know you don't like it. You want me to dress all nice and stuff like that, but I understand I'm building a brand. I want you to walk down the street and be like, oh, you're the print guy. And that's exactly what happened. And it's happening now in real estate, right? So it's the branding, the relationships are key, right? If you're not going out and just talking to people, like if you're not a people person, you don't like talking to people, you don't need to own a business.
Yeah.
Right? You should be a silent partner, or you should just be let someone else run that, because you're never going to be able to succeed the way you need to. You have to be confident enough to talk to people no matter what. You can tell me no all day long. That just means you're not ready right now. I'm going to ask you again later.
Yeah.
Why do you think most people don't invest in their brand?
One, most people are living paycheck to paycheck, right? The difference between a superstar agent and a not superstar is they've already got money in the bank. They're not chasing that next dollar to pay their bills, right? I can never give you 100% if you're chasing your next client to pay your bills. Right. So if you're chasing that, I'm never going to give you 100 because my mind isn't on you 100%. My mind is on how I'm going to pay my car note next month. So I don't look at it like that. I don't care about the money because the money's going to come. If I give my clients 120%, no matter what, that money's coming. It chases me. I'm not chasing it. I promise you I'm never going to chase it. Because it's going to come. Because I do such a good job. I communicate with my clients. I speak, if there's a problem, I'm addressing it right there. I'm not going to wait until I don't have a solution in this last minute and I just screw up their vet or anything like that, right? We're going to address it right then and there. And I'm going to make sure I do everything in my power to get it right. And if I can't do it, we'll work it out.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And that's super smart. Like you said, you focused on relationships. A lot of entrepreneurs make the mistake of only focusing on sales, and they'll do anything, they'll say anything just to close the sale. But when you do that, you can create a bad taste in your mouth with the consumer. You shut off the relationship. When you focus on relationships, you open up one of the most powerful sales levers, which is word of mouth.
That's right.
Word of mouth is so powerful because it's just compounding, and you don't have to do anything at all.
Nothing.
You build a relationship with one person, and they give positive word of mouth to their friends, and their friends speak to their friends. My gosh, you have a whole army of people doing marketing for you also. You compound that with your branding and your marketing.
Exactly.
You got a super powerful tool.
I built trust. Listen, business is all about trust. We know this.
Absolutely.
You got to trust me with your brand, your product, your business. You have to trust me that I'm going to do something that's going to benefit you at the end of the day, right? So why would I chase the money? That means I'm not thinking about you. I'm thinking about myself. I'm being selfish at this point, and I can't be selfish. I give 120% no matter what. When I do anything, my communication is on point, right? Because I'm keeping you in the know the whole process, no matter what. I'm making sure that if there's other people involved, I'm on top of them too. Because I don't want nothing to stop the deal that we're about to make happen. So if I got to make sure this person and that person and that person is doing what they're supposed to do because they said they were going to do it, that's my job for my clients, regardless of anything. Is to make sure that I'm always making sure the whole team is on board for the client.
Absolutely. 20 years is a long time to be in business, Josh.
Who you telling?
And
you know how many times I wanted to quit?
Yeah. I was going to, you already kind of asked my question. A lot of times we talked about wanting to give up. There's times, right? So walk us through some of those times, what you were going through and how you pushed through adversity, how you went through a struggle. Someone could look at you now and, we, again, at the club, we used to use you back, 12, 13 years ago. But people could just look at you're successful. It's all sunshines and rainbows, right?
No one sees the struggles, right? We don't promote the struggles. We promote the successes, right?
Sir.
So at the end of the day, for me, it was like, why? I don't know how to word what I want to say.
But let's share some of the struggles you went through and what helped you push through.
So I will tell you this. I've been with my wife 15 years now, right? You had to have a support system, right? There's times I wanted to go work at Walmart, bro, because times get tough. What am I going to do, right? Am I going to give up right here? Entrepreneurship's lonely. We all know that, right? It's a lonely place.
Amen.
It's not for the weak. You will not survive. There's depression. Like, bro, I had a meltdown a couple years ago. Like, I was depressed. Like, I'm like, I can't. One, too many people relied on me, and they still do to this day. So when you have that much pressure of all these clients relying on you to be the man and get their products when they need it and all this, that weighs on you. So I had to be perfect all the time. That's hard. So I'm staying up late. I'm doing all these things to try to make sure they're good. And I'm just like, oh, this pressure, right? It's taking away time from my family. Like, when do I breathe? Right? Because I'm working a business, then I'm turning around and I got to take care of the family at the same time. When do I breathe? Right? I'm going home. I got 4 kids. I got a wife. When do I breathe? So it got to the point where I'm like, babe, we got to do something. I'm dying here. Like, and I had that meltdown and I was like, yo, I'm taking a whole week off. Unplugged. We went to the Eastern Shore for her birthday, unplugged. no kids, no nothing, just me, my wife, I just needed to breathe. That was it. And I understood from that day forward, I need to do that every once in a while because it's too lonely. Like, you know, you got people who say they got you, but what they got is they want to be you. And then they turn around and they're trying to start what you do. They try to steal what you do.
Rip off and duplicate.
Listen, tell me from the beginning what you want to do.
Be transparent.
Be transparent in relationships and business. If you want to learn how to open a print shop, come to me.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you're not my competition. It's all about personality.
I mean, you've been doing it too long too. I mean, it's hard to, you know what I mean?
And I teach people till this day how to open a print shop. I don't care. And they're like, wait, why are you creating your competition? I'm not. I'm creating another resource, guys.
Yeah.
You look at it completely different. I'm looking at the resource I'm creating. Because if my machine breaks, guess what? They're going to remember I taught them what they know.
It's a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Versus an abundance mindset.
You can go to the bread aisle, right? How many different breads is there? You choose what you like. You choose what you like. I choose what I like. It's all personality based. So cool. I may lose a customer or two because they enjoy being with you better. I'm not mad, right? They're not going to be able to do what I do. You'll come back because I'm going to give you 120%. I'm going to make sure it's done on time.
It's the experience.
Exactly. It's always the experience. Most people don't understand that the experience is what sells the products.
Talk a bit more about that because I really don't think that people, especially real estate professionals, don't understand the importance of the experience. And that was one thing, like I knew from day one, the importance of the experience. Like I would go to my closings to always take pictures, always take videos back before it was even really cool to do that.
Yeah.
And I had people being like, why are you always going to closings? You don't need to do that. But I understood the importance of the experience. So tell the audience.
Why wouldn't you? Right?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you went through the whole process. You're not going to go at closing. That just tells me you're just there for the money, not for the client. What if the client had a question right there?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I can't, like I haven't posted any sold houses. I don't post it. I'm not, it's just not me, right? I will at the end of the year just because I'm happy for all the people I helped.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're just not looking at it right. You have to look at the bigger picture. I was there from the beginning and I'm there to the end. Why step away from that?
Yeah.
Because now it's just a transaction. All my clients I've ever helped were friends, especially in real estate. Every house that I help close, we are literally friends now.
Nice.
And we call, we check each other. We get invited to like family events now. Like the relationship. The relationship is the key.
So putting people over profits is important.
I promise you, if you do that, the money chases you. You will make more money, right? I had a deal, actually a deal I'm working now. It was like, hey, it was a lender referral. They were like, hey, you may not make money on this deal. I said, okay, cool. My job is to get the seller to, kick something over now the way we got to do deals, right? So, and if they don't, I'm cool.
Yep.
I help them. I helped them when no one else was going there. Who else was going to do it for free? There's value in that, guys. The value is that the referrals are going to come, right? And the next time they're ready to upgrade to their next home, because this is just their starter home and not their forever home, who are they going to call?
You, of course.
Exactly. It's not always about the money. It's the relationships.
It's not squeezing the lemon for everything.
Exactly.
A lot of people, I told a lot of people, and I was surrounded by a lot of people early on in my entrepreneurial career, that their mindset was they had to squeeze every little bit of juice out of the lemon. Every relationship they come across, they had to get every dollar out of it.
You don't know who they're connected to.
Yeah, that's another big thing. Well, I always talk about the lifetime value of a relationship. That's, you'll have some people in real estate will ruin a relationship over a few $1,000s when the lifetime value of that relationship could have been millions.
Yep.
The relationship is going to outlast the dollar.
They're so short-term minded.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So you obviously you went through the ups and downs in the 20 years. What do you think was the most challenging point of your career?
COVID for sure. COVID for sure.
So walk us through. I mean, obviously COVID and how that affected your primary business, which was Innovative Twist Printing.
Yeah. So for when COVID hit, we were still considered essential, right?
Okay.
But I'm only printing for churches and restaurants because they were the only ones considered essential.
Wow.
My niche was nightlife.
All gone.
All gone.
Evaporate.
No one's going nowhere. No events are happening. Who am I printing for? My income drastically dropped, drastically, but my expenses didn't. right? We were in the process of building our nonprofit, Kids in Biz, where we're going to teach kids how to start their own business. Got the building, painted it. Like during that time, that was what we thought was the best move was let's build this nonprofit that's going to change the world, right? I did it backwards, right? I built the office out. We had the podcast studio. We had the affirmation room. We had the meditation room, the conference room. We had it all built out, beautiful, right? But I didn't finish the curriculum. What I wanted to teach. So for 2 years, I'm paying, $2,400 a month and not producing income from that side. And we dumped money into this thing to build this.
Yeah.
But we knew what it could do. We had high officials like, hey, let me know when you're ready to launch this, governors and all this stuff. I'm going to put you in the right place so you can meet all these people. And we realized we're bleeding, right? Print isn't doing what it used to. And I'm like, man, all right, like we're drowning, like we're losing here. Like, what are we gonna do? So
would you equate that to the shift in times, or was it because of COVID?
COVID. Because my income changed.
Yeah.
I'm not making the crazy money. I was making good money. Like from my first year in business, I was already at 6 figures. Why? Because I built relationships, right? Now it's gone. Like, gone. How many restaurants can I print for? They're not ordering 5,000 flyers. They're not ordering, But even at COVID, I gave away print at cost. Every print shop was mad at me.
Tell the audience what that means, though, at cost.
So what it cost me to print the actual job. So I'm not making a profit. But what I understood was if I don't do this, they won't be here when this goes away. My job was still trying to save them, even though I'm not even saving myself. But how many businesses can I save? How many can I make sure are still here when we get out of this? And at that point, I'm like, okay. And these print shops are mad. I'm like, guys, you understand they won't be here tomorrow.
Now walk us through that. When you say they're mad, they're calling you and say, hey, Josh.
Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing
you're hurting
this?
a bit. I'm like, we're already hurting. They're going to be gone.
Yeah.
So we had to do something. So we're literally just trying to help everybody still survive through this. We didn't know how long it's going to be. We didn't know what the outcome was going to be.
Lots of unknowns.
Lots of unknowns. But if I can still try to help right now, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, all right, we're drowning. And that's where real estate, I'm like, my first thought is, how do I make easy money? Fast, easy money, right? And I'm like, okay, real estate, right? I'm hearing about wholesale and all that stuff. So I'm learning wholesaling.
Who'd you learn that from? Who'd you hear about it from?
First online, Clever University. Because I used to go to, every year I'd go to Vegas to a conference. So Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, all these major speakers always, and I'm always absorbing. And real estate was always the biggest thing that they would talk about. Especially Grant, And I'm like, okay, maybe real estate. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, this is fast, easy money. And then I realized this is not fast, easy money, right? At all. I'm like, all right, school's a week, boom. I'm gonna get a paycheck and right after that, right? Nah, it don't work like that, right? Yeah, it's a week, but that's a lot of information to digest, and know.
And it really doesn't teach you anything about how to.
They don't teach you nothing. About what you learn there, just discard it when you get your license because you got to learn something.
That's what the broker really is for, right?
Yeah, that's when you learn. I'm hands on, right? So I take it for a week, and I'm like, I don't know it yet. I can't take this test yet. I studied for 3 months straight. Because I want to know this information. I don't want to help you buy something and I mess up because I didn't know it correctly. Yeah, we got brokers who are going to check our stuff, but you're not going to trust me.
You're the point of contact.
Right. So are you going to trust me if I mess up? No.
Yeah.
So I had to back up and I'm like, I'm going to study for 3 months. Took that test, passed the first time last December, right? Got my license.
So December of 2023?
This will be 2 years now. So yeah.
22?
So 22.
So 22, okay.
Yeah. So, I'm like, all
second
right,
year. So your second full year in real estate.
second full year.
What did you learn in the first year that what surprised you the most of a misconception about real estate?
Agents don't answer their phones. I'm like, are they trying to do business or what are they trying to do?
That is the truth, man.
It's the truth. Listen, if you want to get into business, if you answer your phone 99% of the time, you could do better than most agents out here.
For sure.
And
it's not no shade, but it's true.
The less deals they do, the less they answer the phone too.
Bro, I called to schedule a showing Monday. They called me Thursday. I'm like, guys, I'm not even gonna show the house. We've passed all this already.
We're already
We
under
already wrote the
contract.
offer already,
Yeah.
guys. Like, what? Bro, I answered that phone. I got its own phone, right? My wife, my kids knew it had its own ringtone. If that phone rang, we ran and got that phone, right?
Back up.
It was like they knew
Yes, sir.
because I'm that person. When I started the print company, I had people calling me 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because when you left the club, you needed flyers for the next day. So you wanted to wake up, come see me and pick up your flyers so you could promote your next event.
Yeah.
I answered the phone. So I understood the importance of building that relationship that they knew, yo, you can call Josh at 3, he got you.
Yeah.
You know, and the same thing with real estate was just answer your phone, be there for your client. That was it. You know, so between that and then I believe you got to know business. Being in business for 20 years already helped me because I already understood business. So you have agents who don't understand business, that they think it's a hobby.
Yeah.
You can't do this as a hobby. I understand the value of my time. I had to,
That's real powerful, Josh, real quick. If you could rewind, look into the camera too and say that a business is not a hobby.
yeah, business is definitely not a hobby. It literally is not. You have to, this is a baby, right? I'm raising
Dropping gems.
I'm raising this thing to be a successful person, right? Business is a person and treat it that way, right? If you're not going to win. So I understood this wasn't a hobby. I understood the value of my time, right? I got a TC probably after my 3rd transaction. They're like, why? Why are you going to give that money away? I'm like, guys, what? You think I want to sit behind a computer to write my contracts for 4 hours because I'm brand new and I got to go line by line?
Yeah.
Like, I still review all my stuff. Of
course.
I still catch stuff sometimes. You know, we all make mistakes. But at the end of the day, my time is valuable. I belong in front of people, helping them get their deals closed, not behind a computer.
Absolutely.
So I brought in that TC immediately so that I didn't have to focus on the things I don't like doing.
Yeah.
Can I do it if I had to? Yes, I've had to. But it's not what I want to do. And I understood building a team. I understand that I'm not doing this by myself.
Yep.
I'm going to put a team in place to make it so I can be where I want to be.
Absolutely. And look, after 2 years, I wouldn't say you're new to real estate. I think that's kind of worn off. The warming. But what do you like better?
Oh, real estate right now.
Okay.
Over the print?
Over the print. Well,
Why?
Okay, I've been doing print 20 years. I'm capped. Right?
Okay,
I'm capped
okay.
at print. There's no challenge
You
there.
done seen it all.
Yeah. So there's no challenge. I enjoy a challenge.
Okay.
And I'm stuck behind a computer all day designing and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
You like to be in front of
I like to be out and about. I'm a people person.
Building
right?
relationships.
I love building relationships. I want to go to events. I want to meet people. I don't know how I can help you. I don't walk in rooms like, how can you help me? I walk in rooms so I can help you.
lead with value.
Exactly. The more I lead with value, you're going to see that. You're going to be like, yo, that guy.
Yeah.
I want to work with that guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm providing value. Anything that I do, it's always going to be to provide value. I go to these trainings so I can provide value to my clients. Anything I do is to make sure that they succeed. If I meet a lender that's got the best rate in town, guess who's going to be my lender? You know what I'm saying? Like,
beautiful.
Because that's saving my clients money.
Yep.
So cool, I'm friends with you over here, but at the end of the day, I appreciate our friendship and I would love to send you business, but my clients need this.
Exactly. Yep.
You know, and that's how I look at things.
That's good. So being that you've had some time in real estate, what is one real estate horror story that you say? Like, what's the worst experience you've had in real estate? Whether it's a crazy house, you know, a tenant.
I would say my first deal.
Okay.
Tell us about it.
First deal was like 6 months to close, right?
Whoa.
Like, yeah. You know, in Gloucester.
Wow.
Right. But it
was
was
it short sale? Like, what was the situation?
No. It was a sweet deal, little house. It was like 140 grand or something like that, right?
Okay.
But it was on like 7 acres, right?
Okay.
So the problem was it needed a lot of work. The floor was missing,
Yeah.
the house was sinking, right? So now I got to get a structural engineer. I had to do all types of things that my broker's like, why are you you get all the hard stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't had to do that yet, you know? And I'm like, well, all right, well, I'm going to navigate this. I'm calling and figuring it out. My buyer had to go in, fix the house before we closed.
Dang.
Wow.
Because appraisal repairs?
No, we didn't even get to appraisal yet. But we knew the lender was going to require,
Yeah. Okay.
because the floor is missing.
Yeah.
The house isn't even.
They must have really wanted that house.
Yeah.
I mean, the 7 acres, 140K.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah.
In Gloucester, and I'm talking about it's a huge lot. They wanted farm animals, they wanted all this stuff, you know.
So it checked the box.
It checked everything they wanted.
yeah.
So we had to make it happen. So I had, you know, the septic, all this. We had to figure all this out, and I'm brand new.
That's a lot to learn your first
yeah,
deal.
your first
Yeah.
deal.
And you know, the beautiful thing is you got to have a broker that answers the phone when you're new.
Uh-huh.
I could call my broker, she was answer the phone like that because that was my resource.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who else I'm gonna go to? Yeah, I could have went to real estate agents that I printed for,
Yeah.
and they're always like, "Hey, Josh, whatever you need, I got you." You know, but I need to go to the source. I didn't
Yeah.
want to mess this up. I'm learning still. I'm brand new.
Yeah.
You know, and we made it happen. There was negotiations because now he had to fix it when he doesn't own it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not allowed to live in it until, you know. And then we're like, man, but we made it happen.
Yeah.
You know, and then we started looking for a year later, second property. You know,
That's beautiful.
I think it's really good when you have such a tough first transaction because all the rest of the transactions it's a breeze. Like it's like, oh,
I agree, bro. I had to go to Eastern Shore,
Yeah.
Cape Charles. We didn't have the MLS connected. Like I couldn't pull it. Guess what I had to do? I had to pull the information and do it by myself. I couldn't pull the information from the MLS because I didn't have access. I had to hand do everything. Most people were like probably mad about that. Me, I appreciated it because guess what I can do? I can write an offer without the MLS. I can pull the information from online, do whatever I got to do, and we did it.
Oh, you're talking about your offer packet. You handwritten?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. And
That's not like 70 pages.
I don't know what it was. I don't remember, but it was a lot to learn. Like I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know,
What's next for Innovative Twist Printing, and what's next for Innovative Twist Real Estate? Talk about what the direction of those companies. What are some of your goals?
print's not going nowhere, right? Everybody still needs me. Print aligns with real estate.
Yeah.
You know, they go hand in hand now. So I'm able to do things that most other people won't do or can't do, right? So my marketing is absolutely crazy, right? I get it for dirt cheap because I'm printing it, you know? So print's not going nowhere. Print's going on autopilot. Print's going to be ran by somebody else. You still have access to me, but I'm not trying to be that person that's stuck at the office doing shirts, doing this, doing that, no more. I want to, 2025 is full real estate. I'm going hard. Like,
I love that.
you know, I'm building a brand. Like people don't understand, right? You jump into real estate and you just want to close deals. I'm building a brand.
Yep.
I take my money and I turn around and I reinvest it into my business. I'm making sure that you remember who I am.
Yep.
I'm making sure that you're going to be like, oh, I remember that yard sign. Oh, I remember that event. Oh, I remember that shirt. Oh, I remember your book bag, right? Because I'm doing things that are completely different. I'm building a brand. So, you know, yes, we make good money, but all my money goes right back in because I want people to know what my company name is.
Yep. That's how you last long in the business.
That's exactly. If you build a brand, they'll come.
Yep.
Now, have you got anyone in the family involved in real estate yet?
No, not
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
I sold a house. I sold 3 on my street, right? Why? Because I put a little yard sign right in front of my mailbox, little 12 by 12 that says you need to buy, sell, you know, invest in real estate, call me.
And they
And
call
people see it every day when they walk their dogs. They see it every time they drive down the street, right? And that's how I got them. You know, my neighbor at the time that she was selling, she was going to work with someone else. You know what they told her? The agent literally said, I'll get to you in 2 weeks and we'll go ahead and list your house.
Dang.
I was like, 2 weeks? Why? We can list it tomorrow if you're ready.
Exactly.
And that's how I got it, right?
Wow.
Why are you waiting so long?
Wow.
But I think, again, people become prima donnas in real
Yeah,
estate, especially once they start doing a few deals. They think that they're,
I look at every deal as a new deal, as a brand new start. Like this is my first deal.
that's part of my secret sauce is there's no time like the present.
Yeah.
And so when I get an opportunity to go on an appointment, if it's now, they're calling me.
I'm already on the way.
Yeah.
I said, I come in 2 hours. I come in 3 hours. Which one was better for you?
That's right.
Boom, I'm ready to go now. Ain't no time like the present because you don't know. Like you say no today and push it, someone else is going to
It's
swoop
coming
in.
right behind you.
Ain't going to wait.
Yeah.
They're not
Time don't wait for nobody.
Yeah. And there's people out there that's hustling. They're hungry.
Exactly.
They're not playing games. So 2025.
It's game on.
It's game on. Where do you want to take, you know, are you going to build a team? Or is it just you trying to get your
so
buyers, sellers, investors? Like what
all of it, right?
All of it?
Okay.
I've commercial, right? I'm working on a commercial deal. You know, that's different. That's completely different.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
we need attorneys to draft up that. So I've learned that. Now I'm working on that. So I get that. But I want to learn every aspect of real estate, right? I want to know where I want to be. Building a team, absolutely, right? People see my brand and they're like, oh, I know he's going to kill it. Like, because I'm good at what I do and people are already recognizing the brand. So I have one person already on our team, you know. I have
that wants to what? That wants to join under you?
Under me. Yep. But I'm different, right? My team ain't like everybody else's team. I'm not. It ain't about me. That's the key. It's never about me. The money is never about me. I don't take any of their money. Listen, if you join my team when I do it, it's the fact that we're all winning. You close a deal, we're making money off you. Nothing crazy, but hey, 500, 1,000, 2,000 is something better than nothing, so that everybody's always eating. And we're always reinvesting a portion of our sale back into the business, into the marketing, and then into the admin so that we can build a team and we have a staff to do this, this, and this. You don't ever have to worry about anything. It's not about putting more money in my pocket. I'm the opposite. I want to help people succeed. The more people I help succeed, the more impact I create. It's all about impact, right? When I die, I want to know I created an impact on this world, period.
That is beautiful.
That's it. It ain't about how much money I got in the bank. How many lives did I change? That's what matters to me.
That is beautiful.
And it shows. And anything that I do, it's always going to show that I care about everybody else who's around me, who believes in me. Because if you believe in me, I believe in you. We're going places.
Absolutely.
I'm always bringing you along. I'm not better than you. We're always side by side. I'm not looking down on you. You know, we're going to do this together. And that's how I'm building my team.
I love it. I love that. That's amazing. That's very beautiful. Now, this is kind of, we reached a part of the show where we kind of flip the script on you. So we allow the guests to go ahead and ask Chris and myself a question or two. We got a little bit of time. Question or two, and whatever you got, whatever you want to ask us, there's nothing off limits. You just start with Chris and then
I think, like I said, I've watched every podcast y'all did. Like, my daughter put me on and I was just hooked. I enjoy learning, right? Real estate is so new. There's always a challenge. So I'm always looking for key nuggets like, oh, he does it this way. Okay, I like that, but I don't like that. I'm going to take what I can use. Right? So you guys were dropping gems. Like I loved all the interviews, right? You had people I knew up here like, Chantel Ray. Like I printed for her when she was at her spot on First Colonial, right? I've been around. People know who I am. Like, so I enjoyed watching you guys build this. And when it stopped, I was like, yo, Gio, what's up? Like, I'm waiting for the next one. Come on, man. Like, this is motivation. Like, I need it because you're so successful in what you're doing. Like, Chris, I've watched you, but I don't know much about you, right? Because I feel like you're more reserved compared to Gio's out there. Like, he's always posting and I'm like, that's the hustle. Like, that's me. Like, I want to go, So I haven't been able to stock you really. So for me, I think my question for you would be, how long you been doing real estate now?
It'll be year 5.
Okay.
2025 will be year 5.
If you couldn't do real estate ever again, what would you do?
That's a really good question.
That is a really
good question. That's probably the best one. Yeah.
I know for sure it will be some field of entrepreneurship. Like I've been in entrepreneurship so long, I can't ever like picture myself, in a W-2 job again, to be honest with you.
Sure.
So it'll be something in entrepreneurship. I don't know exactly what it would be though, but something where I'm building a company, something involved in that. Because now I know the business aspects, and that's what I'm really getting in tune with and aligned with, like really building a business, not just building a business, but building a profitable business. Like you talk about branding, marketing, like I'm really in tune with that. So it will be something associated with that.
And that's the key, right? Understanding the business.
Yes.
Right? I tell people all day, if your business was a person, because it is, what do they listen to? What do they wear? That's how you know why am I, if I know what you're listening to or watching, I know where to advertise.
Yeah.
I know what you're wearing. I know how I got to dress or put those people on the flyers that look like that person.
Like building your avatar.
You have to. It's key.
I love that.
You can't be like, I want to help everybody.
You can't.
You can't, man. You just can't. It's not even possible. You can grow to add later, but who is that specific person right now that's helping you put money in your pocket?
That's exactly what I tell my agents. Like I really center building content as far as lead generation. So I tell my agents specifically, for your avatar, think of exactly who you want to market to. and give this person a name. Think about what are they wearing? How do they talk? Where do they come from? What are their hobbies? You know, what do they like? What do they dislike? When they have time, free time at night, you know, what are they doing? Where do they work? Make your specific person and name this person, and make at least one piece of content for this one specific
And
person.
it don't even have to be real estate.
Yeah.
If they're car enthusiast, if you love cars, cars should be in the background of your podcast. Cars should be everywhere.
Exactly.
Listen, I tell people, I have a friend of mine, right? She loves anime. I'm like, yo, let's do something. Create you an anime character. You know how many people love anime?
A lot of people.
Guess
Tons.
what?
You'll never
You're
even
going to
know.
relate. Yeah.
Tons.
And you're going to relate.
Yep.
And when you can relate, you can build a relationship because you got something to
I like
talk about.
that.
And the second that you can start talking, you can now tell what you do. And now, because of the anime, they already trust you because they're like, oh, they're like me.
Yeah.
So understanding your people, bro, is the key. And that's where people fail. You have to understand it. If you don't understand it, you're just wasting time.
Yep.
Because you got to. And it takes time sometimes.
It does.
But you'll kill it. And that's when you make a difference.
Agreed. 100%.
I don't sell houses and suits. It ain't me.
Same.
This is how I sell, like this, bro.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I think that weighs that.
Yeah, I
You know what
agree.
I mean? When I got into real estate in 2016, so a long time ago, we were wearing suits back then. Now I go in gym clothes sometimes.
Me
and
too.
close deals. You know what I mean? So
Because people don't
Gucci
understand.
flip-flops.
I want you to see what you see on social media is what you see in real life.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
I'm not being
Portraying.
a fake person.
Yeah.
Right? So if this is how I'm comfortable and this is how I dress, then this is what you're going to
and
get.
it's not just your appearance; it's what comes out of your mouth.
Absolutely.
That's what people want to work with. You can be sharp as a whistle and you don't know nothing about real estate. Why they gonna work with you? They don't trust you.
Exactly. And I don't care if you're a top producer. You should always be learning.
Yes.
You should be learning one thing a day, period.
Always.
I don't care how much money you're making, how many deals you're closing. If you're already not going to different trainings or learning something new, I'm going to outbeat you, my guy.
Of course.
The more you learn, the more you earn.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Period. Because there's someone else who's more hungrier than you.
Absolutely.
So don't ever lose the hunger, right? Like you said, they stop answering the phone because they're comfortable. Forget that. I'm never comfortable. I'm never comfortable.
There's gonna be times where it's naturally business. If it's rocking right now, you have ebbs and flows. You're never gonna be always like this. It's gonna slow up. It's gonna pick back up. So you gotta take every opportunity that's available.
So why wait till it falls?
Yeah.
Why wait till it falls?
Gotta wait.
That's a scary place to be when it falls.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna wait till I fall.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna push today like I did yesterday and the day before that.
And then one of the biggest things I learned from one of my mentors in real estate is that even in a recession, the money doesn't disappear. It just changes directions. And you got to figure out what direction the money's going in real estate. And then you
It just
follow
happened
it
to us.
and follow it.
It literally just happened to
It
us.
just happened to us. COVID, yep.
And NAR.
And NAR.
That thing changed everything.
Yep.
Did it change it for me? Nope. No. Why? Because I'm brand new. I'm moving with the waves. But at the end of the day, it still didn't change nothing. It was business as usual. People didn't understand that. Yeah, some things changed, but it was still business as usual. It didn't stop how I get clients, how I help my clients, how we make deals happen.
A lot of the dinosaurs have been flexed out of real estate. I
Yeah.
call them dinosaurs as people that were been in real estate for a long time and then they refuse to adapt.
Yeah.
Because like even when I got into real estate, like I said, like about 9 years ago, there wasn't cloud brokerages. It didn't exist.
Right.
EXP, all that stuff was all very new. It was a forethought. And all that stuff, you have to pivot.
Yeah.
That traditional model of a brokerage is kind of dead. There's all these different hybrid models, but you've had to pivot. And some people refuse to change, refuse to pivot.
And guess
then
where
you
they're
don't-
at?
Yeah, you die. Your
Gotta
business
be
dies.
innovative.
You have to be innovative. That's why training's so important, because someone's going to teach you something that, listen, when we start businesses or create genius ideas, it's never for today. Please understand, it's never for today. It's
good
always for the future.
Yes, sir.
So it's for my kids, so I need to adapt every chance that I can because I don't want to be left behind.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's
I
good.
love. All right, you got
All right,
one more
look,
question.
for you. Ooh.
Yeah, sure.
Let's
It can't be tougher than Chris's. That was the toughest question anyone's ever asked either one of us.
Yeah, I never gave any thought to that. I'm not gonna lie.
because I don't think we ever do, right? Like, but at the end of the day, what is our plan B? This isn't forever.
I'm a burn the bullets type of person, to be honest with you. I don't have a plan B.
Me neither, right? Like I put my eggs in one basket with the print company, and COVID taught me, and that's why I don't put them all in one basket anymore, because it was like, whoa, that got taken away real quick, and my life changed completely. Like that was the worst time of my life. Like me and my wife are now like back and forth, but it's because I never was in that predicament. I always had money. Now I don't have money. I've never lived like that.
Yeah.
And my wife is like, I got you, babe. I remember when I was in New York and I had to sleep outside. Like, I got you. I know how to shop with pennies. And I'm like, you know what? That was my rock. If it wasn't for her, I don't know where I'd be. I'm sure I'd be depressed somewhere, not doing what I'm doing now.
Shout out to Mrs. Alvelo.
Yeah, like that's my rock. Like that's
Yes, sir.
and that's why I say your support system is key.
Yeah.
You had to have someone who has your back.
Yeah.
Listen, my wife will tell you all day she's been in my shadow. And she has, right? Because I've built the print company. Now I'm in real estate, but we do it together.
Yeah.
But I understood that once, and she knows, like, once I get innovative towards real estate where I want it, I get to back up a little bit, and now I'm gonna help you build your dream.
Yeah.
She's younger than me. I got you, babe. Like, we got to do this, you know, but this is what's helping us right now.
Yeah.
But we're still building hers, but I can't give her 100 yet, you know? So for you, if there was one person who was your rock, like besides a parent, right? Who would be your person that motivates you to keep on going? Besides parents and kids, because we always say our kids are our reason, but for you, your reason and your passion and your drive and your determination to make an impact in our world, who would be that person that you would always call on no matter what? And you know they would have your back and give you the advice you need, whether it was good or bad.
So I don't have children, so it'd be outside of my parents, right? Even though all I got is
Outside of family.
all I got is my mama. Outside of family,
Outside of family, because you've been connected with so many different people in the industry you're in that you've met along the way that you would say this person definitely has got my back and always.
I would definitely have to say it would have to be the person who got me into real estate, and that's Ryan Finch. Wow. It's emotional to even think about how much he's been there for me with nothing to do with real estate. And when I first started working for him, he always used to get mad when I said he's like, you don't work for me, you work with me. He was always focused on me becoming a better person. And that today is the same. He, is involved in my life as a mentor, even though we're in business together on multiple levels. However, we don't really talk about money so much as how do I become a better leader? How can I become a better man, a better person? And he's been there for me at my lowest with no hope for return. When I got out of my situation, I moved to Massachusetts. He supported me. He was there, for me to bounce ideas off of him. That situation didn't work out. I came back and I moved back here, and he gave me an opportunity to come work for him. And the type of guy that he is, I told him, hey, I have a different vision. I love your company. I believe in it. Obviously, I'm still a part of First Class. All my agents work there. And, he allowed me to quit working for him on a corporate level, go start a business with his next door neighbor, one of his best friends, and supported me as I started my own business. And, so for someone to do that, and he never knew how he was going to benefit from that, just wanted to see me do well. And to have him, I would say he is kind of my rock, not just because of real estate and the wealth of knowledge he has in that specific field, but wanted me to be a better person and he's changed my life because it's not about money. It's about changing people's lives. And that's the slogan of his company is, that was back in the day, but changing lives, selling a few homes along the way.
Yeah.
And, he's changed my life. And again, he's forced me to work on myself, forced me to look in the mirror and say, hey, you're not no kid no more. You're not a young, kid anymore.
He told you the bad, the good, and the ugly when you needed it, right? He didn't sugarcoat it.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, this is all recent conversations, and it made me say, hey, you need to check yourself. You need to look at yourself, evaluate who you are, who you want to be, where you are, where you want to go, you need to become the man you want to be before you are him.
Absolutely.
And so he's been my rock and support to kind of push me to go to the next level and to see him taking on new challenges and new tasks. So,
and I think it shows too, like you can see over time how you've changed, like you've adapted his. And I'm sure there's someone that looks up to you the same way now,
Absolutely.
right? And I feel like we all need that. We all need that one person that it's not always about business.
Yeah.
They're there for me when it's family time. They're for me when I need it for myself. When I need business advice. Like it can never just be that one thing. I need an overall person that understands and is going to give me the hard truth.
Absolutely.
The hard truth of what I'm doing.
So we really appreciate, this has probably been one of the best podcasts we have, I think.
Yeah, this was great.
You've dropped a lot of gems, put things in perspective for people. This is going to be great value to all the young entrepreneurs out there and how they can better be an asset to themselves, to their business, and to the community. You got two amazing companies. If people want to follow you, they want to get in contact with you for print, they want to get in contact with you for real estate, how do they reach out to you, Josh?
Everything's Innovative Twist, man.
Innovative Twist on Facebook, Innovative Twist on Instagram.
Anywhere. You'll always know Innovative Twist is everywhere.
So for print, real estate needs, at Innovative Twist, check out our man, Josh. We appreciate you having on the podcast, man.
Listen, I appreciate it. Like I felt this was probably one of my best interviews. Like,
thanks, brother.
I speak a lot. I do podcast interviews, but this one was so passionate for me. Like this one, I
love it.
Watching you guys like motivated me, watching you do your videos, like watching Chris interview people. Like it was just such a blessing to even be on here because I never knew I'd be on here, but I loved watching and I loved seeing how you guys were impacted. It wasn't about y'all. And you made sure everybody knew that. It was always about how can I help the viewers, the listeners, and that was key. And that's why I was like, man, this podcast is so dope. Because they didn't make it about them.
That's love right there.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
You heard it from the man himself. Help out another entrepreneur. You can help him out by sharing this podcast. Let's Talk Assets podcast signing off. Let's talk assets.
Peace.